We chose Waddle over Mrs. Claus. Waddle, I haven't won a game with in a long time, but I think it's very powerful. We're taking Black Cat at Polywaggle. I think I'm gonna go with Polywaggle. If we can get this upgraded and get it to transform, we'll just get it to transform in general, which it will right here actually. We get a nice advantage from, not from a power, but from it being a level, or from it just being, turned into level 3. Here I think what we want to do, so I think if we buy this princess first, and then spend the gold, this turns into an animal and actually gives us a buff. So we managed to get a 5-2. Oh, we managed to get a little buff. This is also an animal. We could have bought this instead. However, I don't think we could have bought the sorry, I'm saying this. The unicorn. I don't think we could have bought the unicorn and the frog prince and have them both be animals. So I don't think we could have buffed this twice. And I think the shoulder shot and the frog prince is a pretty good early game combo. And here, yeah, we'll win quite easily. We do have a pretty powerful board. Here, we're going to cast a spell just because it's a spell, but I think in general what we're going to do, we're just going to try to pick up 2 things to buy it. That's really what we're looking to do. And I think we want the Polywaggle because it's not only buffs the hippocampus, but it's also an animal, which with Waddle is an added priority. I think we're looking for a baby root, maybe? A baby root behind 2 beefier characters is pretty good. Minotaur doesn't really combo with anything. It would have been fine, but I think we're just as fine passing it up. Nice thing about getting an early hippocampus is it's also an animal, which means we're about to hit level 3 next turn. We could hit a very, very early level 3 treasure and have a nice advantage there. So unfortunately we won't transform the Polywaggle, although since we're going up a level, it is nice to be able to try to transform it on the next turn. So here we have a couple options. We got an all animal board. I think however what we want to do is sell something, and I'm thinking the baby root, but it's probably correct to sell the Polywaggle. I think we're going to sell the Polywaggle in order to buy a Trojan donkey and a pig. The point being that those are both animals, and they're both level 3. So we're giving ourselves, we have 3 separate animals that are level 3, which is, what you want with Waddle. That's sort of the highest level animal you can get an advantage. You can get the advantage of the hero power with. And our idea is, very clearly to try to get some level 3 treasures a bit easier. We have 4 animals total, 3 level 3s, so not a great hit for us so far. Yeah, not doing great on these hits, but the hope is that I think we're going to lose this. Oh wow, yeah, we did lose. So we don't even get the gold. That was just a surprisingly strong board. Huh. So we could pair the archer here, and then I think we're going to pair the archer and then roll and try to hit a level 3. None of these other things really appeal to us. Transform a good character. We could go for that, but all our good characters, except maybe the baby root, animals that we want to keep. And so we're just going to grab the frog prince, which, doesn't, okay, so this doesn't flip. This is interesting. Usually if you have 3 of these, it doesn't matter what form they're in, but because only one of them is an animal, it doesn't count for the Waddle. So these, as soon as we buy another princess, this will upgrade, because it will flip. I thought it would upgrade immediately, although it wasn't showing the upgrade animation, it was showing just the, buying a second thing of what you have. So maybe I should have realized that, but I think that's just a weird bug, maybe, maybe a mistake. I don't love it, but what can you do? So they have a decently strong front line. They got no transforms, which is interesting, but I think we should be able to just take them down. We've had nothing actually die yet, which is interesting. Oh, they got a slay for 2 gold though. And there we go, we win. We get to keep our 2 gold from the pig. It's really nice. We're not going to bother with any of these. Our board's full. Oh, we could grab the princess to try to buff the hippocampus, but I don't think that's where we want to be. Well, we found, I think, the last of the animals, which is the stag. Oh, it just got pretty bad. Oh, we can get ranged back road characters getting buffed. I think that might just be the best available. Probably gonna get this root out of here. I think I'm gonna take the blind mouse, and we'll try to buff the 2 ranged characters. We'll be level 4 next turn. Oh, you know, we just got the Telltale Quiver because it buffs. Gives us +6/+6. It means we have to rearrange our comp a little bit, but we weren't really tied to any specific comp. Unless we can upgrade these animals, they're not actually that strong. We grabbed the blind mouse just because, you know, getting level 4 treasure is nice, so we just basically bought half of a level 4 treasure, which is nice with Waddle. This is a nice, you know, sort of option to have in the game when you have Waddle because it lets you get higher level treasures with the power, and it's very, very cheap. So we'd love to get a nice hit here. They have a pretty big backline. We do have some nice big ranged characters though, which could be a big help. And yeah, this will let us take it down, although we're going to lose our pig, unfortunately, so they will get that gold. But yeah, having, you know, buffed up range characters is sort of the way to go if you can, you know, if you can get it. Oh, we'll grab the pig. Oh, we'll upgrade. That seems good. Oh, next time we get a higher level treasure. Since we don't have any slay, buffing our first health is great. However, because we can't put the donkey first, because you can put it first, but it won't summon something immediately. I think we just want the treasure. We're also going to cast a spell. It's not going to do anything, but the idea was that it usually a chance of getting something higher. I wonder if the Nutcracker Prince is worthwhile here. Probably is. And it could get us a 6-drop treasure. I think we could sell the baby root for that. You know, in an ideal world we'd be getting, yeah, you know, 4-drop treasure off the Nutcracker, or finding a blind mouse and getting a 6-drop off of it. But you know, we get a 6-drop off the Nutcracker as well. If we able to triple the hippocampus or the donkey, then we'll get a 5-drop treasure. All very nice. You know, so we're gonna, you know, we're gonna trigger one off the, what's it called? The falling stars. I always forget that one. Oh good, this stag was able to survive. So we'll have some range characters, and I think we'll win this fight. And we'll keep the pig alive, getting +4 gold. So everything went really well that fight. You know, the thing we would have liked is the Nutcracker doing a little bit more surviving, but you know, we got lucky enough that I don't think we can do any complaining here. I do like Polywaggle, however, there's no way for us to really buff it. Seen a bunch of them. Mermaid. We don't have a lot of versatility in our comp. I don't know exactly what we're looking for either. We could buff a level 4 character, or level 3 character, and get a 4 that's upgraded with the True Love's Kiss. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think I might do that. Ooh, this is really interesting. It will buff itself +4/+4, and it means that we might be able to transition to a Prince comp. Princess comp of some kind. He has a Juliet. Well, it does play well with a Romeo. We had to find a Romeo. I think we'll grab it. Oh, and we flip the Frog Prince. I completely forgot about that. Oh, we only get... I think we'll take the first character that dies, gets +3/+3. I don't have any of these. We're gonna put the Nutcracker up front then. That way if it dies... Yeah, I should have realized that we would be flipping it. We don't really want... We don't really want to, you know, treasure map turn into a level 4 treasure. It's fine, but it wasn't what we were going for. Oh, they're gonna get a nice level 5 upgraded. That's good for them. The Frog and the Prince Arthur are both gonna upgrade from the Prince Arthur. We don't have our buffs on our range characters anymore, which is not great for us in terms of trying to win this round. I think we're gonna lose just because they have bigger range characters. Yeah, and we're actually just gonna get the last attack on us. We lost the pig as well. Not a great one. Dracula's strong, and will continue to be, it looks like. Here we could buff the Nutcracker. I think I'm going to. We do want that to trigger soon. Oh, we get a blind mouse. This will give us a nice level 4 treasure. So we don't spawn anything yet. I wonder if casting double spells is just worth it. It's only the cheap spells. We don't have dwarfs. Reduplicate is nice if we... You know, there's a lot of animals that spawn. We're not really going animals, but I could see ourselves being, you know, headed down that route. Nothing really interesting that we saw. You know, our goal is still to get the Nutcracker to proc. At point we'll probably replace the quiver or even the coin. None of these, we have nothing that's super appealing. As long as we have upgraded, you know, Prince and Frog, they'll continue to upgrade. There's nothing really we care about keeping in. We just have them because it's, you know, our strongest board available. Playing in, you know, someone at the top of the board, so, you know, we could be in trouble in terms of winning this next fight, but they do have a powerful board, yeah. It's getting the upgraded Chupacabra, and letting it go a little wild on us is tough. If we can get the Nutcracker, if the Nutcracker won't survive a hit from... Oh, and that was unfortunate. Nice, the Nutcracker will proc, that's what I was trying to get at. And it looks like we'll have the bigger range character, so we will win the fight. Yeah, a one attack range character is just not a lot. You need to get it buffed a little bit. Oh, and we get to keep the Merlin's test, which is great for us. Wow, there's nothing. I don't think we want to stop seeing spells here. I think it's too late for this to be great. I think we'll just take the gold here. Huh. So that's not great. Oh, take the Hippocampus to see what we get. No, we don't have any slay characters. I think we want the crystal ball over anything in specific. We will take the wombat. It's a double summon. What a number. Oh, princess is great. Again, we're gonna skip, and that allows us to buy the wombat. And the good thing to note about the wombat is it's a spawner, so it will summon a second copy. And at this point, we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 princes upgraded, princes and princesses, which will be upgraded by the Prince Arthur. So we'll get 16/16 around. We actually have 6 upgraded characters, and we have 2 wombats, which is great. Puts us in, you know, on track for a level 5 treasure. You know, we're near the top of the board in terms of health, but that doesn't mean a ton, but it does mean we have a little leeway in terms of not getting knocked out immediately. Oh, our character was a little bit too big for them to slay. It looks like we should win this without issue. The only thing we want to make sure is we take out this Medusa. But yeah, getting the double summon on a wombat is great. 2 level 6s, very, very strong. And yeah, we'll take this person down and actually do a fair amount of damage because we still have 3 upgrades left, 3 upgraded characters left. Well, we got... Oh yes, because we have the pig, we got +4 gold. I don't know why I was confused by that. So looking for wombats. We could upgrade the donkey. Yeah, you know, it costs 3, and we get 2 back if we don't like anything. Yeah, we don't like anything here, but if the there probably exists some. I think we're actually going to take another blind mouse. There probably exists some. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. There exists some treasure that we would have replaced one of our characters with, especially the Telltale Quiver, because it's only buffing one thing. I think we'll buff the Nutcracker Prince. I think we're keeping it around for a little while. Should we go for the Romeo? We will buy the Romeo. I don't know if we're going to use it, but it's good to have because we have the Juliet. Although, unfortunately here, we're kind of stuck. I think I saw the blind mouse back. So that was a 1 gold waste this turn. Okay, we found what we want. I think, you know what? I think it's actually worth selling all these goofy things I just purchased in order to upgrade that. And what we want to do is, I think we want level 2 and 3s not to appear in a shop because there are some really great, we're not going, so there's really great things available at 5 and 6, which we're at, especially if we can get some bears and good boys and Berenstein's baby bears and good boys are all things we're looking for. They don't necessarily go with our comp that we have at the moment, but they're just incredibly strong. And I think we want to look towards trying to get those. Now we knock another person out, so the lobby's down to 6 right now. We'll see. We have no good way to upgrade Lancelot. We don't have any boosts, so there's nothing that really puts them over the edge. Is this getting bigger? It feels like this should be getting 4-4 every round, right? I'm sure it has been, but I just haven't been paying enough attention to make sure that it looks like it has. Wow. I do love books. And we could transform these things into upgrade characters. I think I'm going to try it on the Hippocampus. It keeps all its buffs. This is a nice range character. We'll grab the other Prince Arthur. I don't know that we need any of that, but it feels like it could turn into something. Here's another one. This is a mage. It's a very big mage. So the thing about the, what was it? Hippocampus was it just wasn't growing anymore. It wasn't doing anything for us. I think we'll wait to see if we can grab another mage, and we can just put these in front. I think, is this what we want to do? The only risk is if this dies, it's not a big risk, but if it dies when we don't have a spot, we don't get to take advantage of the duplicator. That's still fine, I think. We're not super concerned. We have the Pagan, which is just greedy here. Gives us plus 4 gold. The alternative is we could throw in the Prince Arthur and get more buffs. That's probably the overall stronger scaling play, but we're really trying to, you know, still build a comp. So my plan is, wow, they have some very big characters. I think we're going to lose this round. Mostly because they have a Lordy. Although I will say getting this to flip is pretty interesting. Oh, but it attacks the one thing that's too big. Yeah, this having 100 health is going to, you know, we get taken down pretty easily. I'd love if this would attack. Okay, so we do get to take out the upgraded character. We don't take as much damage. Yeah, upgraded, you know, dwarfs are very, very strong. So, you know, especially in the middle of the game. Ooh, I think we do want the Hercules. You know, get us a level 6 treasure. Okay, and here's something interesting. We had to, you know, well, we don't need to sell that, but I think we're done with it here. I think we'll move it up front. And do we want this baby bear? You know, I guess it doesn't actually go with anything we have right now. I do like it, but it doesn't really go with anything we have. So I think we'll just let it go. And yeah, if we're gonna let it go, I guess we'll keep rolling. So a mask would be interesting here. Wonder Waddle's not going to do a ton for us going forward, although I don't even know what here would be looking for. Well, we've seen a ton of wombats. We could have quite the wombat board. Our board is still scaling with the Prince Arthur, but we're sort of at the point where other people are scaling past us with things like dwarfs. So we really need to figure out, maybe get a level 6 treasure and then, hopefully figure out a new comp or just, a way to improve our comp. Oh wow, that was not great for us, not what we're looking for. Oh, and it grew big enough to be able to resist our character. The nice thing there is we did get the flip. But yeah, we don't have a very big board yet. This will summon 3 characters now because the pumpkin died, the other pumpkin died. That's nice for us. They'll get a bunch of slays, but we should be able to take this down, although it grew big enough that we weren't able to. Them having a 20 attack range though still makes this tough. The 2 attack range one is sort of a liability for them here. They're actually going to take 15 damage. They only have 17 health. So it was good that we dealt so much damage to them because they have a board that was sort of threatening for us. We're going to buff this Hercules because we want to try to get it to flip. And it was pretty low cost. Again, I'm not 100% sure what we're looking for. Right here, we're just looking for something to buff the Hercules. I don't see anything specific. I have nothing to knighthood really. I think we'll just take the buff. Make it all scaling. Nothing super appealing. See the mask again. We could have moved into a different comp completely, but we've gotten so many buffs from the Prince Arthur that I did feel a little bit stuck in this comp, which does happen sometimes. I mean, there's no reason to have a Frog Prince other than just a pile of stats here. I wonder if it makes sense to, see we want the turkeys to flip, so I'm not going to do it, but you could put in a Prince Arthur for the Lady of the Lake just to get the, plus, 8/8 it would give all your characters. This will, maybe get halfway to a flip. Yeah, right. 56, not all the way halfway, but pretty close. We can sort of see why this person got knocked out. They didn't have a very strong board, especially, if you're backline at this point, can't fight at all. You're really just playing, I think, too far down on board. So we're at the point in the game where we might just want to buy a spell that is strong. I forget what board they had. The apple is usually very strong though. Oh, we can't buy another spell. So in terms of what we're looking for, oh, here's a Berenstein, although I keep talking about it. Berenstein's just very powerful, but we don't actually have a board such that a Berenstein makes sense. And here's a good boy. Good boy does make sense, so we'll pause here. Because all our characters are good. Except for the wombat. I always think the wombat's good, just because most of the animals seem to be later in the game especially. And once things are upgraded, there's sort of a gold glow around the outside. But this may be the inside of their frame. And the good characters are just gold on the outside, but rather than the silver. But it is pretty hard to distinguish most of the time, I believe. So that's not a big deal, but I get confused. So the problem with them was they had very big sleigh characters, which I'm sure have just gotten bigger. Oh, unfortunately, they're going to get a nice attack with the, what is it called? A Medusa. That's the one. Okay, so our dragon attacking is good there, but we're going to get crushed by this giant. What's it called? So Onslaught. And yeah, we get taken out quite easily by them. Having large Shadow Assassins is very, very good. No surprise there. And it's not super hard for us to get taken down. I'm not even sure what we want to do here. We want a good boy in, I think, but we do want to flip the is it too late to maybe it's just too late to flip the Hercules. which is really disappointing. I think we still want the Wombat in because it does the double summon. Yeah, I think we're just gonna get knocked out here. Unfortunately, we, they just have a bunch of strong characters that grew a lot. They have the Lancelot with the Baba Yaga. That means that it's getting, +8/+8 every time it kills something, which means every fight they're getting even stronger. If only we had been able to, knock them out that last fight. They survived with 2 health, and it means they're going to take down the game, most likely. And that's just sort of a tough scenario for us. I do wonder if maybe putting a range character in front would be good, but you see our range character is only 30/30 now, and they have an 80/80, 50/50, and they have a Medusa that's very strong. So yeah, we buffed it just enough. It actually had 87 attack, or 87 health, and they had 87. And yeah, these Lordies won't do anything for us. So yeah, we're gonna lose here. But I think it was a pretty good game. Definitely not something we're unhappy with. Princes and princesses sort of have a natural fall off at some point because getting +4/+4 round on each character is great, but something like the Lancelot grows by, if it, well, they're actually not in front of, I feel like the Lancelot should probably be in front of the Baba Yaga, but it grows by, +4/+4 every time it slays. They also, and then the Shadow Assassins also grow by +1/+1. But we got our first one of the day. We, got a win with Waddle that we hadn't had in quite a while. We've been going on a negative streak with that. And, I think we have a lot to be happy with. We did get the no 2 and 3s appear in the shop, but then we weren't really sure what we were trying to buy with the, out of the 5s and 6s. We didn't, we saw some Berensteins and some baby bears, and maybe we should transition towards that. Because we just ended up sitting on characters that were just stats, and the problem with, having just stat characters is you run into bigger stats. Similar thing will happen to dwarfs sometimes. Dwarfs are great if your dwarfs are bigger than the enemy characters, but as soon as you're smaller than them, you really don't have any tricks that allow you to win. You don't have something like Medusa, which is sort of an equalizer. You don't have something like the Shadow Assassin, the range character, which, can do better than trading. So that's sort of the issue with these type of comps, and I think you can see we got a little punished by that, but getting a second place is not the worst outcome.